All right. Hi everyone, and welcome. I'd like to begin first of all tonight with a very special night. It's also the Hilola of Moshe Rabenu. So we're going to have some insights first about Moshe, and then we talk about Purim. So let's light the candle before we start. You know, the candle, it's called Narration. It's connected with the root level of the soul of the righteous. So we want to all meditate that all of the merits, all of the revelation and the energy that Moshe achieved in his life will help us to elevate us in our spiritual work. I want to say, זכותו של משה רבנו, תגן עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ויהיו אמן. We know, as I mentioned, that when a righteous person leaves the world, he gives us the opportunity to cleave ourselves with all the powers of that righteous. And now Moshe Rabenu, as Zohar explained, he didn't die. If we don't see him, it doesn't mean he is not here. It says that every generation is here to support and to help us in our spiritual work. So let's have a few points, and I'll take the whole time just for that. But it says that Moshe, he born in Zayin of Adar, this is tonight and tomorrow, and he left the world in the same day. Meaning he completed a cycle of correction. Now, we're recording it. Yeah. So, the Kabbalah is explained to each one of us today what does it mean for us to connect with the righteous soul, especially Moshe Rabenu. We can make the inner connection and deeper connection, first of all, to the root of our soul through Moshe Rabenu. Because when it says about Moshe, that he was the only person on earth that still in the physical realm, physical body, and he was half angel, half human being. He connected to the level of God. If you know so we're going to see it later with Purim, but if you know the tree of life, there is Ket of Bina. Between Bina and Chesed, there is another sphere that called Da'at. This is the level of consciousness that Moshe achieved. This is the highest level that a person, human being, could achieve while he was in the body, in the physical world, right? So imagine what does it mean for us, if we, anything that we think of or something we need in our life right now, because we know that first it starts with a thought, and then maybe we say something, then we take an action, and then we can have the manifestation, right? So we need all of this support. Now, more than that, it's connected also, it's not by coincidence, but it's happened, that also it's in portion Tetzaveh this week, and we know in portion Tetzaveh, it's the only parasha of the Torah that the name of Moshe is not mentioned over there. Right? There is no story that the light want to eliminate the Israelite, and Moshe says, no, if you're going to do that, remove my name from your book. And because he said that, of course, he didn't restore the Israelite, because the short circuit they did, and because Moshe said it, so the light took his name from one parasha, and this is the portion of Tetzaveh. So then he started, the parasha started Tetzaveh. The result that the Creator was talking to Moshe, but now Tetzaveh. So first of all, what does it mean for us? And Kitvei Ari, the Ari Kadosh, of Gloria, Kabbalah is from the 16th century, and in the Zohar, it says that Moshe achieved the level of, it's called Da'at of Zerampin, that this is the unification in the upper world between the level of Chokhmah and Binah, Ab and In, what is it mean for us, right? Between the light of the Creator and all of the blessings that we searching to receive into our life. You know, it's amazing because first of all, there are things that we have desire for, right? How many people here tonight have desire for something? Everyone. Wow, that's amazing. Good. Now imagine those desires or that desire we know, right? What we know, what we want. But there are endless of desires that we're supposed to have, and a lot of things we're supposed to receive, and we don't even know we're supposed to receive them. Our desire is created from what? Okay, not into incarnation, but we're coming from different desires, but also in this lifetime, you know, we see things, we hear things, and then we kind of have those desires that I want also to have it, right? But we're talking here about something in higher level. I want to receive the desire of my soul. Because I'm sure the desire you raise your hand for, if you check, maybe it's related with your soul, but it's more related with 1% war. We're talking about the level of Chokhmah. It means I want to have the desire to create a perfect vessel that the light of wisdom, the light of the Creator will dwell into my vessel. So if I have it, I have everything. I'm connected. You know, Moshe was talking with the Creator face to face. Can you imagine that, to speak with the Creator face to face? How it's going to feel? You have the answer for whatever you need. You can ask directly the Creator. So much excitement in the room, it's amazing. Thank you. So, you know, but what's happened? You're saying, the name of Moshe disappeared from the parasha. The Kabbalah is saying, you know, because it says, we mentioned before, Kabbalah explained that, you know, Moshe he achieved that level that really, he doesn't need his name to be mentioned. And how it relates to our life. This is a very powerful point that I would like to mention. I don't know if I'm going to share all the points because then you're going to stay really till midnight. But let's ask ourselves something very important. You know, how many of my actions in my life, you know, and check your week or week before, the months, or whatever you remember yourself, different actions. I'm taking those actions of sharing, of helping, from the need of recognition. No answer, just think about it. Now, recognition, it can be like in different levels of recognition. So let's say I want the credit. I'm doing something and I want to have the credit. You know, sometimes you can have an idea and somebody else taking the credit for it. Like, you know, an idea. It's happened to you once in life. You come with an idea and suddenly you tell your friend, and your friend went and put it in Facebook. Like it's easy. I said, what? I give the idea. What are you doing? Oh, I'm searching for respect. This is why I'm doing it. Moshe telling us something very, very important. When I'm willing to disappear, I mean, remove my ego, the light will dwell and go through me, through my vessel, in a higher level. The light will shine in a higher level. And also, you know, think about it. You know, we are in a physical body, right? We said Moshe achieved the level of half human being, half angel. And our goal, you know, what we're really looking for, we're looking for fulfillment, yes or no? At the end of the day, whatever you're going to name it, whatever the 1%, I want really the 1%, I want that fulfillment, right? Yes? Just to make sure we're all want the fulfillment. Okay, that's good. So if I want the fulfillment, why are we really making a big deal from what we said before? The respect, or the credit, the people will know me, what I say, I didn't say, why I really care? Because, you know, at the end of the day, when a person leaves this world, what do you think they ask him in the upper world? Just a second, it's your credit? Is his credit? Who was credit? When you say this, well, no. You're going to ask us why I didn't do my job. Why even I was looking for the credit? Why I waste my time to block my vessel not to receive the full capacity of light I'm supposed to receive? You know how much time we're wasting by blocking ourselves to receive the light rather than let go and be a channel of light. We're so busy with like small details in life, instead of being busy, how can I build with small details, build a building of light instead of building of chaos? And Moshe came and tell us, tonight you can get this power of letting go. But you know what? If I get the recognition, I'm fine. If not, I also fine. Because the light of the Creator, He knows exactly what I did or I didn't do. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So who should give me the recognition? And let's say if I didn't get the recognition, what does it mean for me? It's a whole story about it, right? But there is a reason why, we say when a person is doing things in an anonymous way, let's see, in an anonymous way, we receive much more energy. The Rabbi used to tell the story about this guy, that he didn't want to go, in Yom Kippurim, this is Purim, right? Yom Kippurim, he didn't want to go to the world to pray. He loved God. And he decided, I want to go to play God. I don't want to go, right? But he's going to be alone because everybody praying. And he just, want to play God by himself. Doesn't want to pray. So, okay, so he went to play God. And, in a miraculous way, he put all, I think it's 19 holes, right? 19 holes to play God. 18? Okay, 18. Take an extra. He put in one shot. 1, 2, 3, right? Like every time he what? No, not in one. He's like, no, he put the first one, then the second one. 18 now. He can share with no one. Yeah, first of all, everybody in the praying and he didn't go, feel shame. He can't share with no one. So now no credit. Sometimes it's much harder than us to have success in something, and I can't share it. Do you have something like that you did something amazing, but you can't really share it with no one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We all have something like that, right? So we want to delete that from our system and to get the power from Moshe Rabenu, because, it's not that the thing is really disappearing, because it can never disappear. Always the light is in the business, always the light is there. Moshe didn't really care about himself. To come to that level to say, take me out of your book, he doesn't care about his recognition, his ego. No, he doesn't care. He cares about what? This is the energy of Purim. Pure sharing. Pure sharing. He doesn't calculate what I will get from it. Sometimes somebody is doing something small, after he did so many things good for us. What we do right away, we take in the phone, our phone is there, right? We block in his number. Yes, did you block recently somebody's number? Deleting him from Facebook. You're not my friend anymore. Think about it, Moshe teaching us. Whatever he did for the Israelites, they said so many bad, really crazy bad things about him that never happened. And still he did what? Protect the Israelites. We want to receive that strength to start falling into those small details that the opponent put in our brain and taking us from the real work we came here to do. I want to start to invest my energy in the real stuff and stop. This is Miami, right? What we good in Miami? Used to be the main studios of the telenovelas here, right? And now they moved them to Mexico. I don't know if you know that. Yes, you know that? No. Oh, it used to be here, but a few years ago they moved them to Mexico. So it means they help us not to have telenovelas here, but still there is the residue of all telenovelas. We need to remove it from our life, right? So we want to create an internal change. Instead of having a different type of fears, if nobody knows who's going to give me the recognition, who's going to give me the good word, whatever it is, I want to ask myself, which new light I want to be revealed right now in my life. So tonight, I'm not going to continue to this. This is a whole class by itself for Moshe. But tonight, we want to ask ourselves, which type of light, new light, I want to have in my life. And each one of us can talk with Moshe from tonight till tomorrow night to ask for guidance, ask for help. Which type of strength do you need in your life right now? Whatever you struggle with, or whatever desire you have, and if that desire involves a lot of what we talked before, so it's not good, it's not real desire. And even I'm going to receive what I think I want, he's not going to give me the fulfillment that's supposed to receive. So let's use those 24 hours. Don't let them just pass by because the next two nights another 1 year. Take your time when you go home tomorrow morning. Sit with yourself, open the Zohar, read the Zohar, light the candle at home. Talk from your heart with Moshe and feel which type of power you need to help you to go to your next level. Which type of barriers you have right now in your life. Which type of judgment you have in your mind right now that's blocking you to receive your blessings. Just to listen to our thoughts, this is a big thing to do. And then I can remove some blockages. But from one hand, I have a desire. On the other hand, I have different thoughts that are blocking my desire to act upon my desires. Just sit, listen, and delete. We sit and deleting. Are you deleting some of those pictures from the phone? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Woohoo! I know it's 8:30, but let's wake up. So it takes time, no? I need to delete also those false announcements from Satan or old pictures from my brain to make sure to receive new pictures, new information. So let's start and talk a little bit about Purim. So first of all, Purim, it's a very powerful cosmic bank. It's sort of phenomenal. Okay. Very powerful cosmic event that happens once a year. And the energy that they revealed is the same energy that happened in the original day that it been revealed. The miracle that happened in the time of Esther and Mordechai. So it means, whatever we're going to share tonight, even if that light is revealed into the cosmos, doesn't mean we're going to benefit from it just because I'm here. Okay? This is why we have different tools we need to use before Purim and during Purim to cleave ourselves with the level of Yesod of Abba. I'm going to explain what it means soon. But it's not enough just to use the tools. I need to keep in mind, whatever we're going to talk tonight, I need to keep in mind for those 24 hours of Purim to keep my consciousness in the place of Yesod of Abba. 24 hours, magical 24 hours, okay? So, what is Yesod of Abba? First of all, it's the level, once again, connecting us with the energy of Yesod of Chokhmah. So the Chokhmah is also, there is, in each level of the tree of life, there are 10 emanations in each level. So also the level of Chokhmah is the level of the Creator, right? This is the level that we receive the you want to call it wisdom or mochin, right? Or the consciousness, the higher level of consciousness, but also the fulfillment of the Creator in a pure way. But this is the level of Yitzod of the level of Chokhmah. Okay, this is a very, very high level of energy, and it's very, very pure. There's no negativity in that energy, in that specific day. We're going to read soon from there. But I'd ask the question, first of all, why do I need this energy? First of all, right? What I am missing in my life without this life, without this energy. Because think about it, we're so busy with our lives during the weekdays. There are so many blessings, the Zohar says every day. The Zohar says every day there are new blessings entering the cosmos. I didn't hear about it. It wasn't in the news. I don't know what you're talking about. Why we don't hear about it? Because we're so busy with what? With my life, with my worries, with my lives, with my empty spaces, with my judging, telenovelas, all. So Satan, his work to make us busy, and not to pay attention what there is in front of us. But again, once again, the Zohar says those blessings every day, they're not appearing in an automatic way into your life. It says there are angels that protecting that specific place in the upper world of the blessings, that if I'm doing my restrictions, if I'm not working on myself, removing my desire to receive on cell phone, doing my connections, I can tap into those blessings. So it means, once again, let's put in our mind, like taking the energy from Moshe into Purim, where I'm investing my energy. During the weekdays, let's Purim for a second, the weekdays, because if I'm not preparing myself every day, it will be very hard for me to receive just in Purim, or just in Shabbat, or just in different holidays. So I need to make sure you can't just go to the Olympics without training, yes or no? Okay, thank you. So the light of the Sod of Abba, okay, it's not just another light. Yeah, I heard about it. It's not like, oh, it's a nice word right now. It's Sod of Abba. It's not also in the time of Purim, always to say to ourselves. It's Sod of Abba. It's right to remember I'm connecting this light. The whole world will be in the level of the Sod of Abba. The whole world, not just in here, everywhere. So it's a light of clarity that I can open my spiritual eyes, spiritual ears, spiritual senses. I can elevate myself to a higher level of consciousness. Okay? It's something actually we're looking for, but we don't know we're looking for. It's a light of direction and guidance. Each one of us can guide us to walk toward our mission, our goals, what my soul can do in this world. Also, it's a light that fixing and putting my consciousness in the right order. What comes first? Sometimes we have like a salad in our brain. Yes, you feel it sometimes? You have so many details, even from Kabbalah. What I should do, what I should attack first, right? So this light, put it in the right order. Tak, 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 tak. According my vessel. Maybe for me, that order works. For him, no. For him, we have different order. Each person has his own order. We have pieces of one big soul. So this is why we can understand each other one time. Sometimes, I'm sharing something, the other person, no, I don't get it, because his order is different. This is why I want to connect with this light to receive my order. Now, without the light of wisdom, without this energy of light, so we can have feelings, we can have desires, we can even make an effort, we can put everything into effort. But if I don't have the inner clarity, it will be very hard for me to achieve my goal. Very hard for me to let the light to dwell into my vessel. Sometimes or many times, it's just we're missing just one piece to receive the blessing. And we don't understand. The opponent is telling us, look how much you are doing, and why you're not receiving what you're looking for. That small tiny thing I don't get. I want to get it. The time of Purim, everything is opening. I just need to make sure I want to see it. So many times, we can invest, we can pray, we can work on ourselves, we can, but we feel like sometimes we walking in circles. You feel sometimes you see those movies that they're in the woods and they're trying to walk out of the woods and they're coming back to the same place. Right. That's what happened to us many times. Okay. So it means I'm missing the light of wisdom, but the inner light of wisdom. And the sort of Abba is the sort of the Chokhmah. So the Ari is saying, I want to read from the Ari to make the connection. I don't have my glasses, so I don't look at the time, okay? If it's late, just let me know, okay? I'm just in the first page and there is like maybe, so, but it's I tell people not to bring watch with them, so Okay, so the Ari says, what is the secret of Purim? He says, so the Purim, in Anoda, I need to read first of all, in the original language. The Rav says, when you read in the original language, you create a portal, channel of light to come and to guide us, right? So we want to connect first. So it says, Seder Purim, the secret of Purim, סוד הפורים, הנה נודע, כי כל זמני הגלות, עומד הנוקבה רחל עם זעיר אנפין, אחור באחור. אומנם אז היה בסוף אותן העין שנים,
It's Mashiach.
Oh, okay.
Mashiach.
So it was an exile of 70 years. Okay, what is an exile? It's not just when, that case, let's say, they've been in a different place, but also an exile. We all, most of the time, we're in exile from the Creator, from the light. So we don't feel the light. It doesn't matter what we're doing, we don't feel the light. So he says, what's happening at the end of those 70 years, של גלות בבל כנודע, ואז זה מתחיל למעלה לעשות תיקון, זה להחזיר פנים בפנים. So the correction started in the upper world at the end of the 70 years, to bring back, because there is a concept in Kabbalah that's called achor be'achor, back to back. When two people are standing back to back, right? So even they talk, but they cannot see each other. It's the way that Adam born with Eve. So he says, so the correction after the 70 years, they start to do the correction in the upper world to bring them back to face. Okay, face to face, now we can see the blessings. We can feel the blessings. We can receive the message from the Creator. So to do that, what they need to do, there's a concept in Kabbalah, you might have heard about it many times, but Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, it's a dor mita, right? That you need to put zir and pin to sleep. Zir and pin is the upper world of the world of the blessings. שהוא הסתלקות המוחין מן הזיר הנפין ונכנסים מתוך רחל, התכנת ברצופה, ועל ידי זה יכולים לחזור אחר כך פנים בפנים. So when they did the dormita, that's sleeping, right? Then they can do the operation and they can bring them back from back to back to face, okay? Let's see how it's related with our life. But before we start, just want to connect with the Rav about a very powerful point about Purim. Then I can show you the...
It's Mashiach. Mashiach doesn't mean the successful battle that we wage against enemies. It means where there is no thought of war anymore. There is no thought of hatred anymore. There is no thought of lashon hara anymore. No thought of those things. Well, how do you defeat thought? How do you defeat thought? People, if you see your enemy, you can defeat him. But how do you defeat thought? That was the Ein Bet Shimon. That was what Purim was about. Why? Because if there is any essential ingredient to all of these different names, these 72 names, there's always one essential ingredient: sharing.
Sharing is caring. Okay. So what's happening at the time of Dormita? We represent the level of Rachel. It's our universe, right? Rachel represents the Malchut, the physical world. Zir and Pin is the upper world. So in time of exile, Min the Nugba, our universe, is back to back with the blessings that are coming from Zir and Pin, the upper world. Because if you study Kabbalah, you know that the blessings doesn't come from the Malchut. Whatever we do in here, we activate in the sphere, activate in the energy. We push in energy up to the upper world. Whatever we push will come back to us. Okay? So we want to push good. I want to make sure I know what I'm pushing, because when we come from the Zir and Pin, I want good rain, right? Not bad rain. First of all, we need to know that we're in exile. If I don't know that I'm in exile, okay, so that's where we start to maybe remind ourselves. But what's happening in exile? Achor be'achor. So I can be connected, but I don't see it. So we taking actions, we doing whatever effort we are making, but I don't see the light, I don't feel the light. I can receive things, but I don't understand the energy of those things that I'm receiving. Whatever it is, it can be a word, can be a message. The light even can tell me something. I can get a vision, I can get a dream. I'm taking actions, but I don't have the inner revelation from that action. Okay, we many times we operate in either I got used to it, so I'm operating from that place, okay, or we just this is life. We just continue with life. We need sometimes to stop, and recalculate, and ask myself: Does I'm running to the right direction? Where I'm running to? The first question we want to ask ourselves: where in my life I'm living achor be'achor? Means we have area in our life that we live in back to back. What does it mean back to back? It means I'm doing whatever I'm doing, but I don't see the blessings. I don't feel the blessings. You know, when we complain about what? When we complain about on somebody else, right? So we complain usually because I feel there is lack of appreciation of the person. Yes or no? Because if not, I'm not going to complain. But then when I'm saying, listen, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I do this, I call, I this, but you know the person doesn't give me back call. Okay, so you're making effort, I don't feel the feedback, I don't feel the circuitry. It can be in the relationship, it can be in my mission, in my work I can do in this work, it can be with my connection with the Creator. Okay, so find the area in your life that you have that lack of relationship with you don't see the light in your life. It's called achor be'achor. Now, the level of the what we said before, let me just see here. This is the word. Okay, this is back to back, you see. So to create the unification, we need to go to the Dormita, it's called, right? In terms of the end of the exile to bring it face to face. So Dari says, why? Because you want to bring the blessings face to face. So when that happens, sometimes in our life, it can feel scary. Why? Because it can feel like darkness in our life. Things is not familiar for me. What is the Dormita in my life? Okay. It can be darkness, it can be confusion, it can be spiritual tiredness. Sometimes we feel tired, but not necessarily just from physical work. It's most of the tiredness is from our thoughts. It's called spiritual tiredness, something like emotional, or a lack of excitement. I'm doing things because I need to do them. How many of us, when you really wake up in the morning, you're very excited to go to work? I have one, I have two, I have three. And four, oh, you're thinking too much. It took you a while to. You really, who is excited if you tell a kid we're going to Orlando tomorrow morning, right? Because the Holocaust, right? He will wake you up from 4. He can't go sleep. You like to sleep, you don't have to drive, let me just sleep, right? That's excitement. We have to have excitement all the life. That's our excitement to be, right? But we're so tired, we're like, so we get lack of excitement. And that's what it feels when we have this Dormita. That's part of sleeping. But that's not falling, the Ari says. The Ari explains it's not the falling. The Ari says, that light entered into the Malchut and it created the correction. There are so many things that happens while we don't even know what's happening. We're going through different movies and we're in the process of something, of building something greater. In the process, we're trying to see the full building, but we can't see. Right now, nobody is in the second floor. And maybe we do it at the 50th floor. I don't know. So it says in that time, the mochin, the covenant, it didn't disappear. Because what's happened? We judging the movie in the middle or in the beginning of the movie. You don't know the result. You want the result, but you want the result now. So if I'm not patient enough to continue doing my spiritual work without the credit we said before, without limitations, without judging, without complaining, without whining, without all of that, so what's happened? I'm letting the light to do its work. We're supposed to stop interfering the light of the Creator do his job. Because if we know what we're supposed to do, so why are we asking from the Creator even? Why to make the connections even? I know what to do, right? But if I don't know, it's important that somebody come and ask you a question and give you also the answer. Yeah. And then so what do you think? What do you want to think? You already answered. And we do it sometimes. But we do it on the Creator also. We need to ask and let go. Shh. Zip it. Let the light to come into your vessel. So the mochin, we said, they don't disappear, they just enter into the malchut. What does it mean in our inner world? Okay? Sometimes we feel that we don't have the light, we don't have the right connection in that moment. But maybe that light, instead to get it together, because it builds itself like drops of energy to build a bigger vessel. How do you know in which stage you are at right now? We don't know. Especially when we don't feel to do something, we need to do something. We can't just, okay, let's wait. No, I need to activate and to help to create the vessel. All right? So let's ask ourselves a question. When I feel some empty space in my life, some darkness in my life, do I run or I understand that right now I'm building a vessel, a new vessel? That's something we need to ask ourselves. But we don't like to feel uncomfortable. Do you like to feel uncomfortable? But we know when we feel uncomfortable, we're actually growing, yes or no? That's a part to go through the matter of sex, through the darkness, right? Even when you're doing yoga, it's comfortable to do yoga? Comfortable to do what else you do? I don't know, working out, losing weight, juicing, fasting, coming to Kabbalah. It's not easy, right? But we can cheat also in all of those things. You can pay money to a trainer and you can cheat. Push-ups, it doesn't look okay. I'm resting. Okay. So we can cheat, but we're lying to whom? For ourselves. That's what we're, right? In Sod of Abba, right, it says, this is the light of the pure wisdom, the light of the Creator. This is the aha moment. I got it, right? When I got it, it's not like many times you can express even what you got because it's a message for you. But this is the aha moment. So this is the connection in that tiny point that fix everything in my consciousness. But why I don't get it? I have so much information, so much thoughts, and so much I'm putting like blockages, around the light and my thoughts. So there's no order. I can't get it. But when I'm connecting to the Yesod of Abba, what's happened? Everything in the order. Now I got it. Oh my God. Did you have sometimes aha moments? Did you get everything? Would you like to have all the time the aha moment? Of course. We spend so much time, right? So without that energy of Yesod of Abba we mentioned before, the special energy of 24 hours, the person can be full with emotions and willing to help, to do whatever, but it doesn't have direction. No direction. They're shooting all over. No motivation. It can have a lot of motivation, but without depths. Like really depths on the inside, right? So we have to make sure, this is why we feel frustrated many times. We have so much energy to do this, but maybe we're not investing in the right places. And then we just give in that light and we don't receive back, and then what's happened? We feel bad. to the empty space. So we all need this is sort of Abba, right? Because what's happened when the ego falls asleep, what's happened to the light of wisdom? We can receive it. Why we're not receiving the light of wisdom of the Creator? Because our ego blocked it. Because I know better. Sorry, but I know better. No light. I know better. I did it my way. Right? You know the song? Okay. So, the Umitah is the time that my normal control, right? Like every day I think I have control, start to get weakened. I don't control. And this is something we need to start to work on already. It's something we need to work not just in Purim, all the time. Because the real control is the control of the Creator. It's to use the rules and the tools of tree of life. Not the tree of knowledge, bad and good. So I need to ask myself, am I willing to let go of control to receive the real light of wisdom, the energy of the Son of Abba? Ask yourself. Many times we say yes. I said many times, but it's fine, Many times we tell our friends, tell me the truth, tell me the truth. You love me, tell me the truth. And your friend gives me the truth and says, what? I thought you were my friend. But you ask for the truth, and what are you for? So it means, many times we say, yes, I do, yes, I want. But the way I behave, it's the opposite of my desire. Because why? Because it's hard. Whatever it is, in the class I will say anything. Yes, of course I want. What you willing to do for it? What you willing to sacrifice to receive this light? And we have some time. We have some, 9 days till Purim. So, let me show you. Okay, Yeshno. So what it says, when in the Megillah, right? There is a sentence that says, Yeshno am echad mefuzar umefurad. So the secret over there, it says that the Ziran pin is sleeping. The whole Megillah we're going to read at the night, and why it's called also Megillat Esther, right? It's revealing a lot of secrets. There is so many secrets in that Megillat Esther, a lot of revelations to our life. And there is a lot, many people say there's not even the name of God over there, but it's coded in different places. And there is some, like if we just take those secrets to our life and start to work with them, we can see big miracles and wonders in our life. And there is also a sentence that Queen Esther, she's saying that the help and the revelation will come to the Israelite from a different place. From a different place. What does it mean? Many times in life, we kind of decide in our mind who will help me. That when you call in a friend, you ask him for help. I'm kind of deciding, he needs to help me. What's happened when he said, I can't help you? Are you feeling happy? Are you judging the situation? You start to say bad things about your friend. It's happened really in your vessel. And what the step telling us actually, don't decide who will help you. The light will send someone to help you, because the light knows exactly who's supposed to help you. You just need to do your work. Don't make a decision. Because in the end of the day, if I'm making a decision, what's happened? I'm saying to myself, I know. So then I'm disconnecting from the light. I'm disconnecting from the sort of Abba. I'm disconnecting from the light of Chokhmah. Again. But if I'm saying I don't know, I know the help will come because I trust the Creator. Maybe you need to call 20 friends, I don't know. Whatever it is. But I have certainty that the help is there. It will come. And we saw in the Megillah, the whole story looked like terrible, but then what's happened? Everything shifts in seconds. That is what we need to understand. Never, ever, ever lose the thought and the feeling of certainty in the Creator. Because the light, it says that the solutions for the light, not for us. We don't have the solutions. We need to build the vessel. We have to remember that we, human beings on earth, we don't have solutions. It says, "Habitronot Hashem," the Creator has the solutions. My job, Kabbalah 1, remember? My job to do what? To create a vessel, and the solution will appear in the vessel. But we're trying to do what? We're trying to create the vessel and to fulfill the vessel. Okay? So it's hard to do those two jobs. So let's continue with more secrets, because we know we have a lot of tools. What time is it? 9:11? 9:18. Okay. So let's talk about some tools, okay? So we talked about the light that we're supposed to connect in that time. And there are different tools that will help us to connect for those 24 hours. There is something that before the 24 hours, and it's called Shabbat Zachor. It's a Shabbat before Purim. And this is the Shabbat that we mentioned it's called Amalek. What is Amalek? Amalek is like a nation. Amalek represents the damage, the safek that we have. Before we enter in Purim and receiving the energy of the sort of Abba, we need to purify our vessel. We want to remove the doubts, because we mentioned before, I need to have certainty, the Creator. Even I need to have certainty to come to Purim, and I want to receive this light. Because we're going to come, we're going to dance, we're going to drink, we're going to eat, we're going to have fun, okay? DJ, dancing, woohoo, man, putting some costumes, right? But I want to make sure I'm not coming just with my body. I'm bringing with me the inner light, the inner consciousness of the why I'm coming, what I want to connect with, what I want to live with. It's like, to get drunk in that day, it's not about getting wasted. It's not about losing yourself there on the floor. No, that's not the point. That's you. I'll tell you a story that happened many years ago. When I was in December in Israel, and there is, we have a group of people that each one when he's coming, not coming. It was Purim, and the guy, he lived, in a building, it was a building, and the center was under the building. He lived in one of the floors. And we see we need to start to read the Megillah, and he's not coming. The guy not coming. We tried to reach him, he's not coming. Okay, we need to start. So we started. He didn't come the whole night. In the morning, he came to the morning prayer, and all of his face was bumps and and scratches. And I said, "What's happening?" So he sit at home. And he said, he heard that it's good to drink a little bit before the Megillah, right? So he came from work, he put on whatever he drink. He drinks something. So he said, I was drinking, I feel nothing. I was drinking, I feel nothing. He filled in the whole bottle. So I finished the whole bottle, I feel nothing. I said, okay, I feel nothing, so let me just go to the Megillah, right? So he went down, he started to walk. When he walked, there is a turn, he was standing and he fell on his face. He fainted. Then people saw him to his wife, whatever, they lifted him and they took him home, right? So the thing is, it's not about us, it's the holy day, let's drink and let's go crazy. I need to stay on also. Yes, I need to have fun, but I have to keep my consciousness. It's 24 hours, okay? So don't go crazy and do something usually you're not doing, right? Just make sure you keep it in mind. So this Shabbat is very, very important. Shabbat before Purim. There is a special section over there that helping us to remove that doubt, the energy of the Amalek for our system. Also Zohar, it says we need to remember. We need to remember what Amalek, what the doubt is, it's created into our life. And Zohar, on one hand, to remember, what my opponent, how many times in our life the opponent tricks us and we did mistake, and then I need to say I'm sorry. I'm wasting my time more saying I'm sorry than I could avoid that mistake in a second or in a word or a sentence or a phone call. But instead of doing that, of 1 minute, now I need the days just to say I'm sorry. You have something that happened to your life? Yes? Right. So it means we rather to, we don't pay attention, rather to say I'm sorry, or okay, we're in the situation, instead of doing the restriction and make sure I'm connected with the light. Okay? So first of all, I want to remember all of those times that happened recently, that the opponent tricked you and you did a mistake, small mistake, and instead of like avoiding this mistake, now you need days on days of explaining, you're wasting so much time. The other hand, Zohar, because Zohar connected with Zir and Pin. Zir and Pin. I want to remember the light in every second of my life. Every time I'm going to take any decision, I want to remember the light. We need always to take the light with us. Everywhere, anywhere. This is something we have to practice. Okay? Talking about the light all the time. The whole energy of the light of Zir and Pin, energy of remembering the light. The only thing why we fall in the opponent is we don't remember the light. And it's easy to believe the opponent. Okay? So this Shabbat helping us to elevate that consciousness before we enter into the level of Chokhmah, so to have this level of purification. We need to delete the doubt from our life. Okay? So that's the first thing. Second, on the point of the tools, we, like we mentioned before, we're getting dressed. Why are we getting dressed in the time of Purim, right? The costumes. So first of all, Purim is the time of concealment, the energy of concealment. But, because Esther comes from the word of something that conceals. There is a light that conceals. Megillat Esther, but it's revealing the concealment, right? So Esther represents something that concealed. And I explained that when the mochin, it means like that level of consciousness comes from the sort of Abba, entering into the Malchut, I mentioned before, the time of Dormita, the time of the Zir and Pin is sleeping, right? That's what it happened. So he says that the light is getting dressed in that time. So the sort of Abba is not entering in a reveal way. It's come with dressing. Okay? So he getting dressed, that he explained, he getting dressed through the level of, don't remember that, I'm just mentioning to connect with energy, through the level of Ima, okay? Coming through Bina is the cosmic bank, and then through the level of Gvura. So when we getting dressed, right, different costume, right? So it represents the external energy of the internal light inside. So we're putting something from the outside, but we're revealing something from the inside. I will give you an example. When a person wants to be revealed, he needs to put more clothing or less clothing? Are you sure?
More.
When you want to be revealed. When you want to be revealed. If I will come now with flip-flop and pink top, right? Cool. Right? You say, oh, okay, they respect that you put like a, right? But if I'm going to come with a suit, with a tie, beautiful suit, I'm going to reveal myself more or less. Right? And a woman want to reveal herself. What you doing? She covering her face, no? Yes, makeup, blue, hair, whatever. So it means, when we get dressed, we're revealing the inner truth, who we really are. Because in that time, when we put in the costume, we're revealing the inner light of us, inner light of us, each one of us, okay? So this is why we need to put the dressing, it's like exactly like a sort of Abba, because we need to connect with that energy. Now, we're talking about the inner light, the work we're supposed to do. So from now, we need to ask ourselves, which costume or external identity I'm wearing that hiding my true light? Because during the year, we all put in a mask. We all wearing something that concealing my true identity. When I want to I'm showing myself to people the way I want them to see me, but this is not the real me. So I'm not letting my real me to be revealed. So I'm hiding the truth almost all year long. This is why Purim come and said, just reveal yourself. Be open. Be vulnerable. Be everything. Like just, this is what you see when people drink. Why they say, when somebody get drunk, you see the truth about the person. Yes or no?
Yes.
And so, some people, they beating up when they get drunk. Some people cursing. Some people saying they love everybody. I love you, I love you, I love you. Even somebody they hate, they love you, I love you. Then in the morning they wake up, you say you love him. Yeah, no, I can't stand it. Are you crazy? But you see the inner life of the person. But we have so many like layers. No, this is the ego. And this is why it's helping us to reveal the concealed. Okay? And what will happen if I will agree to reveal my truth? We talked about before about the control. Remember the control? We need to stop to try to control everything. Just to let the light to guide us. Just a side note. It's not about if it's going to open yes or no. It's going to happen. But depend how. Because the light, now if you pay attention what's going on in the cosmos, the light of the Creator, the light that we reveal every day, not just the Purim, it coming in a strong way, and the light is not allowing us anymore to lie, to hide. So it starts in different levels, because the light at the beginning, the Zohar says, the light starts to hint about his power and about what he's asking for us to do. So it starts from different levels, and you can see it now in the news, in countries, whatever, and we think, oh, it's them, oh, yeah, they're catching, oh, yeah. No. Everything that's going on is the light talking to us what I need to do and how I need to start to work and remove my clipboard and reveal myself. Because if not, it's going to start to come slowly to each person. And we have to wake up. So it means I want to be proactive about it. I don't want to wait that the universe will knock on the door and say, hello, time to change. No, I'm tired. No. So we want to wake up. So this Purim is really an opportunity for us to jump in the spiritual levels. So choose to do the work. Okay? Now, Machzit shekel, the half shekel, another tool, very, very powerful tool, the half shekel. We're supposed to give money. Now we're talking about money. Okay? I don't know if you noticed, but the Machzit shekel, been decided according to the silver in the world, how much it costs. I don't know if you know that the silver right now is very high, crazy high. So we announced $28, then we went to 23. Now it's today $30. So if you want to do half shekel today, 30. Tomorrow it might change. No, seriously. When you're going to do Wednesday, we have a meditation with Michael Berg, half shekel. You need and you want to know what is the exact amount. So you can ask your teacher, you can ask us how much, because it's according the same day you make in the meditation. If you did it already in the first day, was 28, was fine, you're okay. Because it's according the same day you're doing the meditation. We're not inventing how much it costs, it's according the silver in the world. So today it's $30, just so you know. But why we're doing that half shekel and what's the intention, what we're supposed to do, okay? So first of all, the half shekel makes you want to tell us, listen, nobody is, we're not complete, we're not a whole. We're not a whole. We need to make the connection. Because remember that when we a whole, back to back, it's still a half. We're not complete. Face to face, that I explained, when we come face to face, now there is a connection, there is a complete vessel. We still back to back, there's no unification. Okay? So the Malchut being created from this different spark of light that we collected, we need to correct in our life. And when we share in, as I mentioned over there, the whole point of Purim, how they succeed to defeat the negative side was what? You remember what Rav said? Sharing. Sharing. And what Rav said, if you read the story, sharing, that's it. Simple thing, sharing. Everybody was united. They listened to Esther. They did what Esther told them Mordechai. Boom, sharing. That's it. So when we're not overthinking about, listen to my ideas or whatever, it's have to be in my way, So then if we don't do that, then we just listen and we all doing it as one unified soul, great unity. Now the sharing going to different level, and we can defeat any negativity. But what's happened? Why it not happen? When we create separation, how we create separation? Because I think I know how to do it, you think you know how to do it, she thinks how to do it, and then we just do it my way. I did it my way, right? And then my way to create separation. When there is separation, there's no power. Then we study already from Moshe Noah, when he teaches us that about the energy of unity, energy of power. Okay? So in that time, especially from now till at least Purim, we want to gain that power of unity, start to pay attention around us. Where in my life I'm creating separation, not unity in my physical life. Okay? Because I know I can't be a whole if I'm still staying back to back. I need to start to be face to face. I need to bring the light into my life. So it's on me to do that. Don't wait that somebody will do it for you. You should do it. Okay? Now, the half shekel, it's called machatzit. Machatzit, why they call it machatzit also, that I explain. If you take in the two letters, the far, the mem, and the tav, so whoever is far from donation, it says he connected with energy of empty space, is energy of death. There's no light over there. There's nothing. The person that, because the middle letter is the letter tzaddik, is the letter of tzedakah, donation. So the one that is close to the energy of tzedakah donation, it's called chai, connecting with energy of life. Which type of life? We talked about it. The life of tree of life, the light of wisdom, light of chokhmah, is the light of the creator. This is the light that all of us searching 24 hours. So if we know how to use the tools with the right intention, boom, you get it. Okay? So in the night of, you can do it any day, but we're going to have a collective meditation that is very, very powerful. We're doing it for a few years already. I hope you have the link. If not, so I think we're going to have it after in the announcements. But in this time, Wednesday, the meditation with Michael Berg, and it's good to register ahead of time that you're going to receive the Zoom link. Okay, and there is also a special link that after you do the meditation, you can give the link and you can do your half shekel. You don't have to wait to Purim to stay here in the long lines. You don't need to. You can do it from the beginning of the months till after Purim. Every day you can do it, okay? So the sooner you do it, it's better. So this is why we do it like in a unity way. People around the world getting together on Zoom and do it with our teacher, Michael Berg. So please make sure you have the link and the Zoom link. And Michael will explain all the details of the meditation while we're doing it together. Then we have more tools. This is half shekel is one thing. We have more tools that it's called donation, charity, tzedakah, and gift for the poor, but only if you need. We read just to make the connection from the Hari. We're going to read from the Rav about the Mishloach Manot. Before I just want to mention something because we mentioned Esther and Mordechai, because we said Esther is a very unique name, right? It's the energy of concealment. And Mordechai, the Ari explained also, is a very, very powerful name. Mordechai, the Ari says, he represents, it's called Maradachit, this very special light, that it's called bitter pure. This light called bitter pure. It's also light that we connected with through Mordechai in the time of Purim. It's very, very pure. Help me to purify my vessel. It doesn't matter which situation we're going through. The many times we're going through situations we feel bitterness, right? We need to understand that bitterness purifying my vessel and preparing my vessel to receive the blessing. So if I receive it with the right intention, the right consciousness, it's going to go faster. If not, if you're wrong, God forbid, it can stay even longer, right? It's all about energy and consciousness. Okay, so he says down here, ומתנות לאביונים שהם מצד אימא ולכן הם בבית תבין כי הם מצד הנוגבה והם בית מתנות לשני אביונים שהם נצח והוד. And the time that there will be boxes here, so we need to give gifts to the poor. So while we put in our gift, let's say we put everything is we're using money. When you put the money, you want to meditate as you're given right now to two poor people. Because, okay, Mishloach Manot I can give to one person, but when I'm putting the gift for the poor, I need to meditate, it says, two poor people. Why? It's represent the Netzach of the Hod, that they poor. Because everything we do in that night, it's withdrawing the light of the sort of Abba. Okay, it's not like really right now just given physically to two poor people. We're talking about levels of the Sfirot, that I want to draw the light of the sort of Abba into my life, into the Malchut. Yes, it will go after to poor people, but I want to make sure that I'm making the right intention in the meditation, okay? So that's for the poor. Let's listen to the Rav, and the Rav explain about another tool that we're going to do in the lunch time, and explain about the importance of lunch and why we want all to get together.
We are told that the mitzvah of Mishloach Manot Ish L'Re'ev, and as I said, no other holiday was ever decreed that there should be sharing the gifts, because they had operated on that level, on that metaphysical level of destroying. At that point and time in history, the Persians destroyed all semblance of any negative energy intelligences throughout the world. But they also realized that there was an important ingredient. What was the ingredient? Sharing. We should also learn from Purim that nothing can be accomplished unless there is a consciousness of sharing. And therefore they gave us Mishloach Manot Ish L'Re'ev that we will now conduct. And how is it done? If I want to share with you, Zohar, I can't give it to you direct. I must send it through an intermediary. I must send it through an intermediary. Why can't I give it to you direct? You know, that's one of the halachot, one of, quote, the rules. You must send, if I want to give to somebody, I can send Michael, but I can't give it direct. I must send it through an intermediary. Why? Three. Everything must encompass three. That was Moshe, David, and Yosef. Three. Therefore, the intermediary is between the receiver and the giver, right and left. You must have, don't forget, you want to make this precept, the sharing, a sharing of energy or a sharing of, well, here's some grapes. I'd like to share some grapes with you. No. It must be through an intermediary. So you involve the three segments, the middle, right, and left. And let us hope that this year, with what we have done, and with what others will continue to do throughout this year of Tismach, this year of being joyous, full of joy, that we shall bring that Mashiach in the form as the way the Persians did. In Heidav Yameinu, in our days. Amen.
So that we do in the time of the Suda. There is a meal, the second, it's actually the daytime. There is a meal, and this meal is very, very important. The Kabbalah explained this meal is related also with the energy of Messiah, energy of redemption. And then he explained something very, very powerful about it. He said that in that time, we don't want to connect with the middle because just be hungry, right? Because we're going to be hungry, because there is a very special light that we reveal in that time. So this is like, if you think about it, it can be like almost the most important meal of the year. It says that all of the holidays in time of Messiah will be canceled, and just what we're going to left with Purim. Just imagine how high Purim that we need this light. So there he says, the energy of the day that we eat in that meal, we're revealing all of the actions that we did till that time in that meal. There he says, in Purim, there is that higher light that can shine into the Malchut, coming from the level of Chokhmah. And without the Chokhmah, if we don't have a vessel to go to hold this light, that light cannot exist. Okay, so that meal, while we gathering together and doing the meditations and eating together, we're creating that vessel to reveal all of that light of wisdom right now into our life. And he says that vessel represents the Malchut. This is the external energy that we need for this light to be revealed. And when the person eats in that level of holiness with happiness in the day of Purim, he creating that perfect unification between the upper light with a simple action that he's doing. Doing what? Eating. So it's also important, even, we're going to come together and to eat together, but I'm not just rushing, oh, it's already 2:00, I'm hungry, and I'm jumping on the food. Stop for a second. And I'm going to show the meditation that we can take a picture and bring it with you, what I want to meditate while I'm eating and while I'm drinking. Okay? It's very important. So first of all, there he says, we're connecting with the secret of the Nafochu. We're going to transform that energy from bad to good, not to run away from situation or different obstacles in our life. It's to transform it into a vessel to receive the love of the Creator. They're also saying that it's the time of being happy above my nature, above my knowledge, above my consciousness. It's called lemala min adam, above my consciousness. That if we do that, we open in our vessel to receive the sort of Abba. Okay, I know it may be a lot of details, but what you want to remember, it's energy of the sort of Abba the whole time. All right. Also in that meal, we're going to drink some wine, connected with that energy of happiness. Also at night time, I want just to show you the meditation. Thing is there, right? So you see the first meditation. The first meditation, I think it's for the food, right? What it says over there? My glasses. Yes? For the eating?
Yeah.
So the first one, while you eat, right, you want to stop for a second. And then he says, just meditate on this combination. Just meditate on it and then eat. Because again, in Purim, we don't want to eat because we're hungry. Because we're going to be hungry, okay? But I want to eat everything we do, all of the tools we mentioned, there are tools to clear me with that level of Yesod of Abba. Maradachia, Mordechai, Esther, all of those names, they are code names. All of those lights we need to our life for the entire year. Okay, I want to elevate my consciousness. So there is just before you eat, you just connect it. Right now, as you eat in the light of the Creator into your vessel. So through the food, the delicious food we're going to eat, right, and delicious wine, we drawing the light of the Creator. Okay, so make sure to meditate because you're hungry, meditate on the combinations, right? And once again, Dari explained that that light, we just taste it in Purim, he said, we taste it from the future correction of the world. This is why it's connected with the energy of Messiah. It's very, very powerful. Because it means like the all negativity will disappear. It says all of the judgments will be sweetened from the root level, and the light going to be revealed in all of the vessels, right? But we need to make sure we have the right vessel to receive it, okay? So, in that day, just to conclude everything that we said, okay? In that day of Purim, what happening. You know, we're talking about the 7 days, we're talking about Dor Mita, we're talking about face to face, and that day, the written relation of face to face. So we can connect with all of our blessings, whatever we need to receive, right? Now, this is why we said we drink in, we eat in, we put in the costume, we give in the half shekel, machzor shekel, tzedakah, charity, and give to the poor. And we have Mishloach Ma'av that I've explained in the time of the Seudah, right? With the 3-column system. We want everything also, all of those blessings, even if it's sort of Abba, I want to receive it in a balanced way into my life. Everything we want in a balance, even the blessings, okay? And the Seudah, the second wheel, what we said before, drawing the light of wisdom into my vessels. This is one of the secrets of Purim, the happiness, breaking all of our limitations. Okay, this is not the regular happiness that we know, like from a joke or from a good movie or good, I don't know, how do you call look at those people that are making you laugh. Stand-up comedy, right? No, this is the happiness comes from the level of Chokhmah. This is happiness really felt in your heart, felt in your guts. It's something, the real thing, right? If I come with that intention to prepare myself from now, I can receive it, I can feel it. And it's opening my vessel to receive the love of the Creator. Okay? Any question till now? Did I miss something? No. Okay, so we have another point from the Rav, and then we're going to have some announcements. The Rav explained about the third video, about the power of, there is another tool that we're going to use in the time of the Megillah. In the time of Megillah, when you come at night and in the morning, it's good to be quiet and not to talk. It's going to be perfect silence. Because we're all doing the work together to remove the energy of the negative side, okay? And we use them to reveal all the lights of the Kevavke, the light of the Creator. But there is something we're going to use. Here the Rav is talking about Daniel.
Thing that takes place on Purim is almost contrary to all of the legal and official holidays that were proclaimed in the Torah. Why is Purim so much different? Not that it isn't different in so many other senses, but even in this sense. Why are we sitting here at the time, beginning at the time of sundown? Last night, I touched upon an aspect briefly, and that was the involvement of the prophet Daniel in this whole scheme of things. But more specifically, Daniel had a far greater role in Purim than we would be led to believe. In fact, from the Megillah itself, we have to depend on a coded version. Atah, the coded version of the word Atah, who was the messenger between Esther and Mordecai. In other words, he was the go-between between Esther and Mordecai. Now, why couldn't the Megillah mention the name Daniel and say Daniel was the intermediary between Mordecai and Esther? But rather, the Torah, the Megillah has to go to some extreme and give a coded name. Give a code name, like we read so much in books, spy thrillers and so on. People go by coded names. Why did Daniel have to go by a coded name? Atah. It is also not by coincidence, which again would be one of the clues we're going to avail ourselves of into understanding what was Hatach about. That Hatach is exactly the letters of Kahat. Exactly the letters of Kahat. And that would almost give us the impression that Daniel is the central figure here, not Esther, not Mordecai, because we know from a Kabbalistic appreciation of Purim that the word kahat is the central access, the central weapon that was used at the time of Purim to overcome their enemies. And this was the name given to Daniel. This word is also one of those 72 names. And so whoever wrote the Megillah chose to inject a coded name, not Kahat, as it was written here, but Hataf, Hey, Tav, Ka, as the coded name for Daniel. Aramaic is not, while it is written with the Hebrew letters, it is not a Hebrew language. It is not a language known by most people. But when the Zohar began to draw so much of its revelation from the book of Daniel, I then realized that there was more to Daniel than the eye had ever seen. And for the first time, I came to the realization that what was going on between Esther and Mordecai, using Daniel as the messenger. You know how many messengers, you know how many servants Esther had at her command? Hundreds, maybe thousands. She was the queen of an empire. And she had no one else but Daniel to call upon to be the intermediary, to send the messages back and forth between Esther and Mordecai. From that, I concluded that what was going on between Esther and Mordecai was the revelation of the Zohar. The power of what Megillat Esther is all about. It's not a story. It's not a precept. It's not a dogmatic religion that says, you've got to hear the Megillah, you've got to read the Megillah. Nothing to do with that. We've lost all of its significance. But from the Kabbalah, we begin to learn the true significance of what Megillat Esther is all about. Coded weaponry.
Amazing. Yeah, it's first of all, I would say thank you very much for everybody that came tonight. I know it's late at 8:30 we start. And we also have Moshe Rabenu and Purim, so it's a little bit late. But we want to make any effort we can, really till Purim, each one of us, whatever you can take from points that you got from this night, take and make the effort. Everything we do just for ourselves. And Purim is again 24 hours, and we will come next year. Moshe Rabenu tonight and tomorrow night, do whatever you can to connect. Okay, we're going to have a few announcements, and then we can go home. If you want, you can stay there. Please.
So thank you, Michael. So we're going to go over a few of the announcements, some of which he mentioned during the class. So this coming Wednesday, we have the meditation with Michael Berg. Remember, when we do this collectively.